Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome aboard. I'm so excited to be here tonight with comrades, compadres, gatekeepers of Alabama, along with one of our candidates that's running for office of Sheriff of Jefferson County. Congresswoman Terry Sewell will be with us in just a little while. We're looking forward to having a great time. In the meanwhile, let me introduce some of my buddies that are hanging out with the brothers tonight. Give it up tonight for Bishop Larry Rackett. What's up, Bishop?
What's up? How you doing, man of God? Good to see you.
Man, good to see you, brother. I tell you, I love that picture I'm seeing over there. You're a handsome guy through the computer.
Hey, I'll pay you later. Rocco.
Also, I have my brother from another mother. What's up, Pastor Michael Anthony Edwards, number 2?
What's up, man? How you doing there? I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. I love your outfit. Man, you're clean tonight.
Hey, I'm trying to be, man. I appreciate it, man.
I'm just so happy you took that hat off. That hat, I was allergic to that look.
Yeah, they say when you don't have style, you're allergic to certain things. So
I'm guilty. Then, of course, all of our little sister, we're so very proud of this young lady. She's a representative of the state of Alabama, serving in District 58. A very powerful force. She stays vocal, she stays visible, and she's extremely valuable. Can we make some noise for Rhonda Hollis?
Hello,
how you doing,
everyone.
Man?
Glad.
Good to see you.
I miss everybody.
How you been?
I'm good. I'm good.
I need to make a confession. I didn't know until the day when I spoke with you that you had surgery on your leg. I wasn't aware, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, week today. I had a complete.
Well, thank God you're better. By the way, your sound is breaking up just a bit. Okay. Okay, everybody. And again, we welcome, amen, the leader of the pack in the person of none other than God's own Wunderbar, God's own Theos Anthropos, God's own preacher, Prince of the pulpit. Everybody give it up for Bishop.
Yeah, I didn't know who you're talking about there. Okay.
Well, we're here tonight because we do want to give Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Conservatives, it doesn't matter. Give everybody an opportunity to hear as many candidates as we can gather together so that we can vote intelligently. Really understand who it is and what it is. So, Bishop, if you would, now you're back with us, I want to give you this opportunity. Would you go ahead and introduce to everybody tonight who we have on and who we'll be interviewing? You have the mic at this time.
We got that. Who we have before us tonight is Jared Hudson. He's running for Sheriff of Jefferson County. And I'm gonna check comments out here, make sure everything's going okay. We've got the candidate, Jared Hudson, Republican candidate, and I shouldn't have to make any kind of title whether people are Republican or Democrat. What you should be looking for is what are they offering in the position that they're going for. Are they qualified? Are they the right people? Do they have what's necessary in order to do the job? But he is Jared Hudson. He's running against, of course, our current sheriff, Mark Petway. So I just want you to have an opportunity. We all want you as gatekeepers have an opportunity to meet him. As you know, as gatekeepers, our intent is to extend the influence of the kingdom of God into the governmental realm. We want you as the people out there to know more about the candidates and the people that we have in leadership. Tonight, we're going to have Terry Sewell, Congresswoman Terry Sewell, on also. That's so you can know what your representatives are doing and what this gentleman here that's running for sheriff, what he proposes to do also for the county of Jefferson. So I'm going to ask everyone to go ahead and share this around because we need people to know what's going on, and you need to talk to these people. You need to hear from them. And we as gatekeepers, we will be asking some biblical questions. We'll give you an opportunity to ask questions too. if you desire to do so. So we're just we have I think we just got Father Mitch to come online with us. Father Mitch Packwood, he's there too, and he's with EWTN. And you all know him as one of the gatekeepers. We have the gatekeepers at the bottom here. And I guess without, let's see, you had everybody make an introduction, didn't you, Pastor Mike?
I did introduce everybody. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let me just get Father Mitch, if you would. Are you hearing us, Father Mitch? How about doing an introduction, Father Mitch, of so people know who you are, so they get to know you. We need to get your audio on. Make sure we got it there. So please check that. And then we got to get Jared on because he's got another speaking engagement too. So come on. Are you there, Father Mitch? Okay. You're not there.
I think his sound is lost somewhere in the midst of all those books.
Okay. All right. Well, he's got, check your audio. Make sure your mic is working. I'm going to go ahead right now and pull up Jared, and then we'll get a chance to talk to you in a minute. So, Jared, we appreciate you coming on board with us tonight. And we'll give you a few moments to tell the people what you want them to know about you as your and everything you want to say. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me, pastors. For those that I hadn't met on here, it's a pleasure meeting y'all. For those again for the second time, it's good seeing you again, and I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Can everybody hear me okay?
We got you.
Perfect. Look, I know hopefully the community, when they hear this, maybe it's not all pastors, maybe not all Christians, thing to know about me is that I'm a born-again believer in the person of Jesus Christ. That means that Jesus came to this earth, lived his flesh, lived a perfect life, died on the cross for our sins, rose again. It's through him that we are able to have a relationship with God. That's what I mean when I say an important thing about me. The reason I say this, and oftentimes we hear, keep your... Well, number one, I don't have religion to have a relationship with a person of Jesus Christ. Number two, down a car accident right now as I'm going to this other event and talking to y'all. Am I a politician anymore? I'm not, but hopefully I'm still a Christian. So we can't remove the things that are eternal. That's why I always preface, I just did it at the Gardendale City Council tonight. I always preface, and this is what it means. If you're a Christian also, that we're brothers and sisters in Christ, Galatians 3, nor Jew. So there's no ethnic background that matters. There's neither man nor woman, but that we're one. That is what I believe, and that's the most important thing, because what Jesus did on the cross, anything else that we can talk about. The next most important thing you need to know about me is I'm a husband. I've been married to the same woman for 13 years. We have 3 beautiful 4 and 10 months, and I'm raising them right here in Jefferson County. So I'm a regular guy. I'm just like on this call or anybody else who would listen to it. I'm just a regular guy raising my family, and I want my wife and my kids to have the best opportunity for success that they. And part of the reason I'm running is because when I felt the Lord lead me to do this, I imagine that the family men in my case, but even family women, people who have kids, people who have a spouse, that they want their kids, they want their spouse to have the best opportunity possible. That's part of why I'm getting involved to try to run this. I'm a former Navy SEAL. The SEAL team actually got an honorable discharge out, and then they wound up med retiring me from. I'm an Alabama law enforcement officer. I run a small business, the Shooting Institute, where we train military nation. I still teach for the SEAL teams. I teach for every branch of the military, Army, Air Force, Navy. I've trained every agency from NYPD all the way out to LA Sheriff's Office. And then we also go in nations. I've done a lot of work in Africa, in particular South Sudan and Central America, Haiti. Trying to think of it. Afghanistan, was in Afghanistan last fall, down in Afghanistan. So that's a primary purpose of my business, is focusing on getting. I would be working in Ukraine this year, but obviously we're running a campaign, and I felt that's why I'm staying here. I have a master's of business administration, so I have an MBA. Those two things, or those three things, my military experience in particular in special operations, my law enforcement, currently an Alabama law enforcement officer and investigator for the state, and then my business experience in a small business are what qualifies me to be a good candidate. As a note, the sheriff's office is the largest sheriff's office in the state. It's the 27th largest, and that's out of 3,100 sheriff's offices. They have about a $100 million budget. It's a little bit less than 100 million personnel. It's a little bit less than 1,000 personnel. So this is a unicorn of sheriff's offices. It takes really two skill sets. One, to be able to actually be the sheriff and target criminals, somebody who can go and hunt bad guys and not target the community, but target the criminals in the community. Number one, somebody who can manage budgets and deal with personnel shortages and those issues. And I believe my business. That's why I believe I'm a qualified candidate for this position.
Okay. Well, we can take questions from the other gatekeepers right now. Gentlemen, or even Representative Rowe, y'all have any things you want to ask, or so that the people need to know?
I'd like to know, how much of time have you actually spent in Jefferson County? Living
I grew up
in
here. Living in Jefferson County?
Yes, sir.
I grew up here. I think we moved here, county. We moved here for my dad's work when I was 12, I think. I was, so however old you're on that 8th grade, we moved here, and I've been here my whole life.
Okay.
So I'm 37. I guess that's however many years. 25
I got you.
years.
I heard you mention that you was an Alabama law enforcement officer. I myself have been APOS qualified for many years. What do you mean by Alabama law enforcement officer?
Oh, I mean, I'm APOS qualified. I'm just sworn with the state, with the sheriff's office, or with a local PD. I'm an investigator for the state. I primarily for the 17th Judicial Task Force.
You said an investigator with what? I didn't hear that.
The 17th, it's a state agency. So I work under a LEA. I don't work for the like I used to be a reserve with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, but when I started, I didn't run reserve anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to ask this question. I don't want to hog the time, but I like to ask this question. What is that you feel you can do to bring what's being done better?
Okay. I'm not. Did you
Couldn't
hear the
understand you.
question? I didn't hear it.
No, sir.
I couldn't
I
understand
didn't
you.
hear anything.
You guys couldn't understand me?
Now I can.
Got you now.
Try it again.
No.
Stay close to the
Is that
mic if you would. Maybe that's what we need, Pastor Mike.
I asked the question, what is it you feel that you can do better as far as you being to the county?
So I think you said, what is it that I think I can do better that's not currently being done for the county? Hopefully that covers your question. The primary thing is, number one, with my military and what I've done with law enforcement, not just here in the state of Alabama, but all over the United, we can target bad guys as opposed to target community, which is a buckshot approach. Where everybody's getting the shakedown. I don't believe in that. The community doesn't need to be hassled. You have to go in and do that. There's 1,500 right now. Buddy of mine that works at warrants sent me this number. 1,500, give or take, violent felony warrants. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about property or violent felony warrants. Assault, rape, robbery, murder, down there in the courthouse in Birmingham, touched, or they're an FTA on one of those or a probation violation on one of those. These are committed the most heinous act in society, and they're not being actively sought after. And that's the first way to knock a dent in criminal enterprise. And it's also a good supportive of what you're doing as law enforcement. Because right now, and y'all know better than anybody, there's that rhetoric between the community and law enforcement. And it's oftentimes justified because hassling the community and not targeting criminals well, then they're not doing their job. So I'd say that's the bring to the table. One, I know how to do it, and two, I know it's not being done. The second thing I would bring to the budget and a lot of personnel. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office has 278 sheriff's deputies, and that's according to the county commission. They're down from the 521 they had in I would argue that I can take, or that you should be taking, being good stewards in finances, the $85 million budget plus whatever is in the discretionary fund. So I'll be good stewards with that, so that you can provide my business with that. So those are the two things I would say. One, being a good steward with finances, and two, actually having the know-how to hunt criminals and having the wherewithal or the willingness to do it.
Okay.
I had a question. So let me ask you that the sheriff department were down in the numbers of sheriff personnel. Did you mention the sheriff personnel?
According to the county commission, they sent this over to us, and then you can talk with deputies at the sheriff's office. They have a better, just about 50%. I don't think it's quite 50%, but they had 2018. They had 521 sworn. So you're down, deputies, and that makes it hard for the sheriff's office to provide the service. But also on the inverse, the ones that are actually working the two. I think it's oftentimes we see this in government. There's always a misallocation of valuable resources. I think.
Now, you said a misallocation of resources. Now, with 521 at 278, I think is what you said, but a misallocation of resources. Do you think that that's what's going on currently?
Oh yeah, no, I think, and again, this is all anecdotal because it's hearing from buddies at the sheriff. We can see that when they're not responding to calls, like for instance on my end of town, or even in, when I say my end of town, I'm talking about unincorporated Jefferson, up like North Jefferson area. One of the biggest complaints I heard from the mayor of Center Point is they have calls that haven't been responded. Had the same complaint. Their guys responded to a call that was a Jefferson County call for active shooter. Didn't show up till 40 minutes later. So I would assume that, I'm not going to say that people are lazy, or misallocated.
Misallocated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a scriptural principle, it's a parenting principle, and it's a business principle. Those who are faithful more, those who are not even faithful with a little, what they have will be taken away from them. And so what I kind of see is oftentimes the little bit that they do believe that the current administration is faithful with it. And I'm not going to disparage the current hard with low numbers. It's extremely difficult, which means you have to be your business to be able to do more with less. And I would be.
Well, I think across the nation right now we have a shortage of police officers. We've done a lot to disparage the police departments and so it's kind of hard. Even the police department, Birmingham police, have said they're down. And as I look across the nation, policing is down across the nation. What would you do to get more deputies involved? How could you recruit them since it's such a difficult society right now, difficult community?
No, there's a lot of issues. One of it being, just being pay, right? Pay is the difficult thing. I need with a 6-year degree with experience in special operations.
Okay. Looks like we're having some problems with, you've moved to a place, I guess, where it's difficult to hear you right now. So, and I wanted, while he'll come back in here in a minute, brothers, and y'all got any question, other things here we might discuss for a minute. We want to get when he gets back online with us, so that we can talk with him about those issues. And apologize to those that are listening right now. I know you want to hear from the candidates, so he'll get back with us when we can. So, Ro, it looks like you popped up in his place up there. So, but well, I'll give anybody who wants to have any comments to say right now of how important the sheriff's department is. Anybody want to speak to that? Because I can always run my mouth when it comes down to stuff.
Well, I heard him say that he was a member of First Baptist Gardendale, is it?
Yes.
I would like to know what kind of recommendations you're getting from the facts there. I know that's Kevin. I'd like to know what would be the recommendation that his staff would give. I heard some earlier about January 6th. I'd like to know what's his viewpoint, what's his stance with January 6th. I've heard statements that he could possibly walk in a thin line between being favorable toward his own people and being prejudiced. So I'd like to know what's all that about.
Let's address those hopefully when he gets back. He's trying to get back in. And let's address those questions. And people, if you have questions, be sure to put them in there. I see we've got one that's asking about how much college he's got, and we'll bring that when he gets back in there. So inviting the audience out there, if you have any questions, let's do it.
I would definitely like to know how he proposes of the pay with the sheriff's department. If he plans on bringing.
Bishop, I see what Pastor Doug. Okay, you got him. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sounds like it's much better right now, Jared. That's what we want. We had a few questions to come in, and I'm going to go with Pastor Mike McClure. If you would ask your question, and then we'll ask some of these other questions here.
Let me just throw three at you really fast, Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Number one, I heard this thing about June 6th. What is your opinion of June 6th? What do you know about June 6th? Number two, excuse me?
January 6th, right?
January. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
January 6th. Please. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Boy, what would we do without white folks?
Listen, the folk don't know how we carry on, so they don't know that we don't see the difference. Okay, good.
Number two, I've heard it said, Mr. Hudson, I never met you, and I appreciate you being on with us, but we bring our candidates on so that our listeners can get to the truth. So one of the statements brought up that you could possibly be very, very favorable toward your own race, or could even possibly be somewhat prejudiced against the black race. I would like you to address that. And then number three.
Well, why don't we let him address one at a time, Pastor?
Okay, let's go with that.
What's that first one again you had?
This January 6th deal. What's his opinion? What's his viewpoint? What do you have to say about January 6th?
So, I mean, I've been asked that before. I mean, it's pretty easy. I wasn't up there. I don't know everything. The thing I know was the same thing you've heard, and then also buddies of mine and the FBI, the Metropolitan Police that were there. I know what they've said working it on the ground. I've seen in the news. I can what I've seen. I'm not for yeah. I'm not.
We're missing. It's breaking up.
Bad.
People going in and tearing up and breaking stuff. We have a good system. I believe we have.
Jared, can you
hear them?
We're trying to get him here.
Can you hear me?
Jared, you're dropping out on us. Are you still moving in your car? Yeah, he's gone again. We've got some good questions here that are coming in about him, and we'd like to address those. Nothing we can do at this point. Yes.
How do we fact check any questions? I see the question, why was he let go from Shelby County? How do we know that's a fact?
We don't know. We would have to ask him the question if he was involved with Shelby County. We don't know. He's trying to get back in there. He's trying to get in there. And I don't know. We need to have answers to these questions. We'd like to have them because I'd like to know if he was with Jefferson County. Good question. Why was he let go? Was he let go?
Right.
We need to. There's a lot, and
No,
people.
it was Shelby County. They say it was let go from
Oh,
Shelby.
Shelby County, yes. But there's a lot. We have to understand there are a lot of things that are said about the candidates. Some are
Right.
truthful, some are just plain downright lies.
Yeah.
And we just need to give people an opportunity to answer these questions. I'm sorry he's not online right now. I don't know what has happened to him. There he is. He's coming back in here now. We're trying to see him. Jared, we need you at a good place so that we can hear you because. Yes, go ahead.
I changed phones. Can you hear me better?
Yes, sir. Listen, we've had some questions come in, and I think you need to address them so that people can know.
Okay.
And go back to Pastor Mike, your question, if you'll go with that.
Yes. So January 6th thing, as about it as y'all do. I wasn't up there, but I'm not for anarchy. I'm not for people burning stuff down, tearing stuff up. For Sheriff is I believe wholeheartedly in the system that we have. Frederick Douglass said that the ballot box, which are elections, the jury, court, campaign, and then being a sheriff, I'm going to do the cartridge.
I'm not getting him, guys. Are y'all hearing?
Nobody. That's the last thing you want. So I believe in elections. That's why I'm running. That's why I'm running for sheriff. So as far as January 6th goes, I think it's, to be honest, a Democrat talking point that they use against Republicans. But I'm not for anarchy. I had a lot of buddies that work official capacity in the government, and without talking about what they said, is up for them. I wasn't up there, and I don't think it's a thing if we're tearing stuff up, and that's my opinion across it as a whole. As far as the racist thing, I mean, really the dumbest, to me, that's the dumbest thing somebody can throw, especially at a Christian brother. I truly believe what Galatians says in chapter 3, right, verse 28, that we're neither, it's not matter in Christ, number one, and then number two, Jesus says all laws hinge on two things: love your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. 613 Mosaic laws that hinge on two for me, but then it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter what you are. As myself at a minimum, and so as a Christian man, I live my life by that. The whole racist thing is, I'm not racist. It's not true. I don't show partiality. Exists every sort of evil. I don't believe in partiality. Everybody gets this. If you're a bad guy, we're going to hunt you. If you're not a bad guy, we're going to leave you alone. But everybody gets the same. And that's my heart.
Okay. I'm going to ask one of the questions that came in from the audiences out here. Said that you were with, here's a question. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It was said, why were you let go from Shelby County Sheriff's Department? I was not aware. Did you work with Shelby County, and were you let go from Shelby County Department? That's the question they're asking.
No, I wasn't let go from Shelby County Sheriff's Office, the SEAL teams, and after a year, I basically took my 2 weeks, high-fived the sheriff, Sheriff Curry at the time. Chief Deputy John Samaniego was there, and I've actually been talking with him throughout my campaign. But anyway, I left, and I wound up pursuing my business ventures and then doing part-time law enforcement, reserve law sheriff's office. So as soon as I left Shelby County, I went over and started working as a reserve with Jefferson. Since that, I saw her name. She's put a bunch of bad stuff, I guess, on Facebook. So, a lot of stuff that's untrue. But either way, no, I wasn't let go. Business.
Okay, well, you're addressing those issues right now. You're addressing those issues, but you said you were not let go. Any other one of the brothers, please go with another question. And we still have some other questions coming in here. We'll address those in a minute, but let me ask the pastors.
I'll throw my third question up that Pastor Douglas Taylor asked about. What's your view about, I believe it was police brutality against African Americans?
I'm not for it at all. I'm not for police brutality, period. But, definitely against African Americans. So here's the thing. Here's the problem that we have is abstain from the appearance of evil. So even if, let's say, police brutality doesn't exist, right? I'm not going to say either way, but let's say it doesn't exist. When you target a community, it feels as if police are shaking down, a black fellow because they're going after crime in this community, and I think that's wrong. That's why you have to target criminals. It doesn't matter, black, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care who they are. You target the criminal, not the community. And I think that exception of police brutality, but real police brutality, if it's really happening, no, it ends with me because I'll be the leader of the sheriff's office. If it's going on, we will make sure that it's not happening. But that's the most unjust thing you could do. The job of the sheriff is to protect your constitutional rights, not harm you in any shape or fashion.
Okay.
Bishop, I'm excited to say that Dr. P. Ronald Wilder has joined us tonight.
Yes, he's right there on there. So that's to let everybody know we have another pastor that's online right now. Let's see. I'm looking to see some of the other questions we have, and I want to address this one thing. There is the statement that's out there that you're a Republican, and that pretty much folks say Republicans are racist. How do you respond to that? You're a Republican now.
Yeah, no. Well, I run, I guess, in three ways. One, sheriff's not really Republican or Democrat. It's not black, white. It's not even atheist or Christian. A person to stand between the people and anybody who would choose to victimize the people, whether it's a tyrant in government or a criminal on the street, to uphold civil liberty. So that's the first thing. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. The second thing, party is the party that helped free the slaves. The Republican Party was the Jim Crow. So I guess if you look at a party line, I would argue it the other way. But this is a party issue. It's not a partisan issue. This is the best person. The last thing I'll leave you, and some people might agree or disagree with me, but my primary stance support the Republican Party is because of the Democratic Party's stance on abortion. They do. That ruffles a lot of feathers, but I believe in life.
Okay. Brothers, further questions? Father Mitch, did you have anything? Because you haven't said a word in here.
And guys, I've got about 5 minutes left before I have to walk into this other.
All right, Father Mitch, did you have anything there? We never got your audio there. Okay. Any one of the other brothers, Pastor Rod or Pastor Edwards, want to make sure, and all of the others out there. I'll put up a question here. Here's one that she's asked the question. Your qualifications, I think you gave some earlier, but would you just summarize those again since you've got just a few minutes here, that why you're qualified for this office?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, first, I'm a Christian. That's the eternal thing. I think that's the primary focus if you are a Christian. But number two, man, from Jefferson County, grew up in Jefferson County. I'm just like most of the people that are on here, my family, and I know that you want to see the best for your families. Number three, I'm a former Navy enforcement officer with the state of Alabama. I have a company that provided training for law enforcement in the nation. And finally, I have a master's of business administration, and I run a business. So I under sheriff in targeting crime, not the community, and also the job of sheriff in Jefferson County, which is managing a $1 million budget and just under 1,000 personnel total. So those are my qualifications. The best man for the job for Jefferson County Sheriff. Okay,
well, with maybe the next 2-3 minutes you want to make an appeal to the people as to why they should vote for you, and you just give me your qualifications. And brothers, anything else you all want to ask? I'm just moving us along right now.
I got one quick question, if I.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Go, Pastor Ron.
And thank you for being with us. I think we've come to a politics now where, at least in my lifetime, elections are now denied or doubted or, whatever. If by Tuesday, short end, and I actually the way, will you of that election drawn out through a whole process? It was fraud. It was just fair.
Can you move a little bit closer to your mic? Maybe that might help us some. Try that question again. I didn't hear it.
Can you hear me better?
Please go ahead. Try.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, we think so. Try it, please.
Was the day next Tuesday, toward the end of the election, will he accept those? Or will we go through a process what we see happening now that fraud? I'm not conceding. Will you exult of the?
Okay, I think Pastor. I think.
Yeah. So I think he's saying, well, if I lose, let's say on Monday night or Tuesday morning, whenever, Tuesday night or Wednesday, and that's the whole point of this country. So I don't. Not a hard question, I guess, but yeah, you got to accept the results. I'll hate it, but Proverbs 21:31, the horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests in the Lord. We run a hard campaign, but ultimately, God is going to deliver us, or He's not. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, if we win or lose, then we win or lose. That's what God had, and I will gladly accept that.
Okay. You did. That's
Bishop, just before he leave, someone said if this was so important, why didn't he take time to take this interview without being on the road? I do want to say that we accepted in advance that he would be traveling to an invitation or an invited place before he came on. So we knew that going into it that he would be traveling. I just wanted to answer that for someone that asked.
Okay, well, we want everybody to know, look, it's Gatekeepers. We're not trying to be partisan in any kind of way. And in all fairness, let's recognize that in the 2020 election, there were election deniers when George Bush won. They denied it for several months until the Supreme Court had to rule. In the 2016, there were election deniers that Donald Trump had won. Even people wouldn't even go to the inauguration because they said Donald Trump did not win. So here we are in 2020. There are election deniers. You've got election deniers that have been doing it, and this has been going on in the history of this nation from almost since very beginning. There were challenges. In fact, we've had elections that had to be pushed into the Congress in order to make decisions. This is nothing new. This is just politics. Okay, but nevertheless, I think that just needs to be said. People, we need to study so that we may know what we need to know and not just listen to politicians that talk. That's the reason the Gatekeepers are here, to help you hear all sides and not shout down people, but give people an opportunity to speak. Okay. All right. I guess we appreciate you coming on, and we're going to have Congresswoman Sewell on a little bit. And I guess if there's nothing else, and I know you got another speaking engagement, Jared, we appreciate it. And the people, you all, I guess, what site do they need to go to, Jared?
They can go to Jared Hudson, and I always ask everybody for three things. One, my family, for the campaign team, because this is God. It's all in God for your prayer if you're a praying person. Two, if you feel like you want to support financially, we ask, it costs a lot of money on a campaign. But three, vote on November the 8th. It's your duty and it's your. Frederick Douglass said our freedoms are rooted in 3 boxes, and the first one is the ballot box. Get out and out. I believe if you ask the Lord who's the best man for the job, He's going to tell you me. But it's not a partisan thing. It's who is the best candidate for the job. Your granddaddy's rated the beach. You can get out and vote, even if it's raining, even if you feel sick. Make sure that you go and vote. It's your as a citizen of this great county, of this great state and of this great country. And I thank y'all so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you. All right. Okay, Jared. Thank you. And